Today's podcast was brought to you in part by G8 Buys NZ and also brought to you by our supply partners in ASGC and Army and Outdoors. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Hello, Bevriotti. Welcome to the Bastion podcast. Today I'm here with JC, Georgia and Rayleigh. We've got no James today because the silly bugger fell down and broke his ankle. So I apologise in advance for the quality of sound, all the janky graphics and all the crap that's going to be spoken about because I'm missing my wingman. With that being said, hello.
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 Hi.
So, you guys are Ghost Company.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give us a little breakdown of Ghost.
Well, Ghost Company is I would classify it as a semi-serious airsoft team.
Yep.
I would like to classify it as a Milsim team, but personally, I don't think it's really like a...
Do you want to focus
Focus
in on
on
the
Milsim?
Milsims? Or...
Yeah, I feel like... Because for me, it's everyone's got their own thing. So that's why I try my hardest not to push Ghost Company towards just Milsim.
Yep.
I want it to also be like a fun...
Yep. A more socially...
Yeah, more social.
A social Milsim team, because you don't run games, eh?
No.
You are
So-
primarily a team.
Yeah, so specifically, I try to make Ghost Company just a team. I try not to run games.
Yep.
Obviously, every now and then we'll probably run maybe like 1 or 2 games just for the hell of it, like just to have some fun.
So you're helping Russell out this weekend.
So Russell, so we're pretty much helping him out run a team. So we're just going to be more like a group that's already established on one side, and then he'll have another team or another established group on the other team, which is Recon 6, I think they're called.
Okay.
So it's just so that there's kind of, like a team already established on both sides.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So how long's Ghost Company been going now?
Ooh.
I see you got your merch.
Okay, so unofficially, I think we've probably gone around for like maybe 2.5 years.
Yep.
It's been a pie in the sky thought for a long time.
Yeah. So I used to be part of another team, and I don't know. Ghost Company kind of started from when I just felt like I wanted to start my own team, pretty much.
Okay.
But then it started off more as like
A bunch of guys having a good time.
Yeah. So do you hang out socially with...
Absolutely.
So
we've actually that's like a big core part of like what I really want with this group.
Yep.
It's not just airsoft. It's
your friends.
like we usually go out to like a bar or whatnot.
Yep.
Like just go have drinks after games.
Yep.
Essentially, we're just a group of friends
Yeah.
just want to sometimes shoot some shit other times.
Which is why you fit in well at the Bastion.
Yeah.
Because we have that, like, I always think of Ghost Company as the Bastion's Milsim arm, as it were, because when
Absolutely.
you started and you came to us and said, we need some help.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, this is what I can help you with.
Because we've like there's already some Milsim teams already out there, but the biggest thing that I kind of saw was that most Milsim teams are like, again, nothing wrong with it. They're very focused on the Milsim thing.
They're very
And,
strictly Milsim.
Like I love Milsim.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoy it, but I feel like that's also not like airsoft is not just Milsim.
No,
I feel like you need to get out there and go to just skirmish games.
Yeah.
You know?
Again, because we run skirmish games, it's my bread and butter, so I like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But going down and doing like OPAF, that's as Milsim as I get.
Yeah.
The UX stuff was good. The first game was phenomenal. Again, this last year there's been 2 events that have really stood out, and it was OPAF and the first UX. But that's as Milsim as we go.
Yeah.
We're again. I'm too old.
Yeah.
Too old and stupid to follow orders. I think is the way it goes. So where do you find your games? Where do you play? Who do you what Where do you get your information, and who can also access that?
That is a very good question. I kind of the way I get my information, I actually kind of spider webbed out before I started the team, and I try to make connections with people that knew about different events.
So you get a lot of word of mouth about games
a lot
that are
of
coming
it
out.
is actually more word of mouth
Yep.
than it is
Very much
online.
community.
Yep.
So it's just because one thing that I found was I wanted to kind of like before I started the team, I already had the idea of obviously starting a team. So I found that it will be a good idea to try to find the people or try to look for the people that I reckon is going to start big events or like clubs that's already established and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then from there, it's pretty much just you make friends.
Make friends.
You make friends.
Ask
talk to
questions.
people, ask questions.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And it's because again, that's where I now bring up that like semi-serious team because we love, like, for example, we run uniform.
Yep.
We run a specific camo pattern that we try to follow, which is M81 clothing and multi-cam equipment.
Yep.
But then that's now where the semi-serious comes in. I don't want to dictate that people are only allowed to run.
Yeah, it's not that elitist where you've got to have that camo pattern.
Yeah.
We're not fussy on set.
Yeah.
So when you start to get that like particular, you just suck the fun out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly
Absolutely.
That's what I found specifically, and I felt like
group of good friends.
Yeah, when you're a group of good friends, when we want to be serious, we run our kit and we run our uniform, so we look super uniform. And then when we play a game, we try to go with like a specific hierarchy.
Yeah.
Like for example, I'll be the team leader. I've got someone in our team called Mags. He's our 2IC.
Yep.
And then we've got like Irish, which that's his call sign. He's our machine gunner. And then we've got like more members of the team that's joined. Each team member kind of gets a specific role that they kind of play.
Yep.
But then we also don't just stick to that.
Yep.
We try to also, like, when you go to a skirmish game, I mean, like, if you want to run a pistol, go for it. I don't really care.
Yeah.
It's a skirmish game.
It's a skirmish. Yeah.
We're not set on players absolutely being just that role as well. If they want to try something different, we like to have the means to be able to allow them to do that as well. But they're not just like the machine gunner, for example. They're whatever they want to try out.
Sorry, do you on set squad sizes, or does it depend on the game that you play?
So, I'm aiming for 12 to 15.
Yep.
That's what my ideal size is.
Yep.
And I feel like the reason why you don't want it to go bigger than 12 to 15 is because then it becomes a bit too unorganized, too hectic to try to organize a group. But
once you get over a certain number, it's like herding cats.
Yeah, exactly. So it just becomes way more difficult than what it should be.
Oh hell yeah!
So when you obviously have just like a 4 or 5 man group, like obviously that's all good because like you get to know each other and everything. But like then it's like you can't really be effective when you're trying to be.
You normally get
serious.
lumped in with other squads.
Yeah,
and then you're a cohesive unit, and then you've got a couple of numpties who.
We've done that with previous events in the past.
And they end up going, what's wrong with these idiots? Look what they're doing. They're all in the same. And they
stick it like a sore thumb.
Yeah. And so it sort of ruins, not your aesthetic, but, it's...
Like, if you're trying to be serious and trying to, conduct, let's say, a Milsim maneuver, if you want to call it that or whatever. But, then at least each person in the team kind of has a rough idea of
a role,
a role that they play. They know how each team member runs. They know their weak points. They know their strengths. But then when you've just got random people thrown together, it's a bit more difficult.
Yeah. I mean, you have to go searching for them.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. You're literally like,
last weekend.
Wait a minute.
So for those of you who don't know, last weekend we had a game. Weekend before, we had a game. And your whole team had to be at a certain point at a certain time. You were the first guys to get your team, most of your team there. And the question came, when do we start the timer? Like I said to you, when your team is here.
See, this is not a big thing. This is the big thing now that I mentioned, though. Like, see, when you've got a cohesive team that knows exactly what their roles are, it's all good. But when you've got a bunch of randos thrown together, and they don't know where someone's dad is.
And it's not like he didn't stand out.
No, exactly. That was the only one that stood out.
That still makes me laugh.
It was great. We were on the other team, so we were on the opposite side of the field, and we were on the sitting with Leon and talking on the radio about is the other team got to this stuff? Are they starting yet? And then we're talking about that we need to wait for their whole team to get there. And we just see the last person on your guys' team walk past our team. Really
I'm so curious. Did you hear me shouting?
No.
I was screaming for. I was at the top of my lungs.
It was. Okay, the whole team's here. Yeah, no, we're all here. Where's Trump?
Bro, I lost.
Roger!
Bro, I lost.
B, where's your dad?
For a bit of context, just if you guys didn't know, one of our players was dressed up as Trump. It made it so much worse. Loves the guy, but he stood out so obviously compared to the rest of the team. I was like, what?
And Slade still team killed him. Bang killed him. Was even worse.
What?
Bang killed him. Slade, you're a maniac.
All of the rest of the team were all in camos, by the way.
With one guy in a suit.
One dude in a suit with a wig.
Blonde hair.
And there's videos of him shooting the Gustav, which was hilarious.
Brilliant game.
Yeah, brilliant. It was so random people can really spawn.
They really can.
So how do you recruit your members?
So specifically, we try not to follow a hardcore recruitment process.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing for me is I kind of follow like a specific way for my team to like run.
Yeah.
I feel like for the team to run like good and organized and actually have a good like what's the word for a good morale, pretty much, right? All the team, good chemistry, So I feel like all the team members have to get along.
Yep.
So the bigger, like how I follow my recruitment process is we've got a sheet and we've got an admin team.
Yep.
And pretty much a player needs to pretty much play with each one of those admins.
Mm-hmm.
And the admins must kind of be like, the guy's pretty good, like he's chill, whatever.
Yep.
And then we'll go, okay, cool. And then invite that person to a few of our games that we're going to go play at.
Yep.
And they'll play like maybe 2-3 games. And then after they've done that, we pretty much put it up to a vote for the entire team.
It's a team decision.
Similar process to Brotherhood.
So what we do at the almost similar. Yeah.
If one person doesn't fit with a new member, it could cause friction in the team.
Yeah. I always in the back of my mind, it's I always think of like especially when starting a team, these are the people I'd actually go to war with.
Yeah.
So and even though we're only playing soldiers, that mentality still kicks in.
Yeah, I find it as a big thing is like a person must be willing to learn, and a person must be willing to follow, and if they're not willing to really do those, then they will have friction with team members or team leaders.
Yeah,
and one big thing I try not to do is I try to organize the team to have enough Indians and enough chiefs, to run.
Try and balance it out.
Yeah, you got to. You always need. I call them thinkers and dancers.
Yeah.
You need people who think, and you need people who dance. The dancers are the guys you send off to do, all the pretty bits over here with the pew-pews and the running around, and then you got your thinkers who sit back here and write up all the choreography.
Yeah.
That just brought one of my very, very, very things that my math teacher always used to say whenever we got something like mucked up. She'd always say upstairs for thinking, downstairs for dancing.
Yep.
That just brought that back.
I'm full of old pearls of wisdom. You'll hear plenty of them. I have a litany of sayings that I break out every time. He'll know them. whenever anybody asks me for a bag when we go shopping, I always say, no, it's all right, I've already got one, and point to whoever's standing next to me, whether it's the children or the wife. When it's the wife, people get a bit like, oh, yes. This one woman, we were down in the warehouse, and I said it, and the lady was like, funny, another man said that to me a few months ago, but he had his wife. I said, that would have been me. I digressed. I've gone off on a tangent again. I was going to ask, you were shooting a movie this weekend. Was it a sort of promotional This Is Us movie, or was it a...
It's more a trial.
Okay.
We're going to kind of use it as a trial. So obviously I'm not going to get into too much of it because...
Are we going to get to see it?
We will get to see it, and we will probably post on our Instagram when we do.
We don't have a set date yet.
But we don't have a set date yet because this was the first shoot.
Okay. There's going to be reason because you're doing it quite professionally then.
Yes, we are. So
as we do, generally our teammates and things like that, we're good bros. We all hang out and chill out and things like that. One of our guys is a filmography kind of dude, and he wanted to try out some things and make sure things can work in a kind of friendly situation. And
Mags does the editing and stuff as well. He can edit and stuff. Is that?
I'm pretty sure he does acting and editing. I'm pretty sure. I know that he will.
Kind of people.
Yeah.
This is now like another thing with like the GC crew, as we call ourselves. We all hang out outside of Airsoft as well as inside of Airsoft, so we know like a lot about each other.
Yeah.
We try to not just make ourselves about Airsoft.
Yeah.
So
well, that also builds cohesion in your team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you know each other's strengths and weaknesses to an almost intimate basis, you know, okay, if I want to motivate this fella, I need to talk to him like this. If I need to motivate this fella, I need to do this. If I need her to do something, it needs to be done. And you can get the best out of your people.
Yes.
And again, it's the same through work. I found running kitchens. It's the same mentality.
Yeah, it's very important for me because, like, despite running the team, I actually kind of hate being, a leadership role. But sometimes you get pushed into it. And I mean, the thing that I really enjoy is actually seeing everyone on the team just enjoying Airsoft, enjoying playing together.
Yep.
And to do that, I've realized that, well, if you actually play a game and not necessarily win, but if you go through really cool like scenarios together or like
give it your all.
Yeah, if everyone pulls their part of the team, everyone actually gets that hell yeah motivation.
And again, win or lose at the end of the day, you're like, geez, when we did this and we did that and and then you build stories and camaraderie within your unit.
Even if you fail heinously, if you do something cool, you'll remember it.
Now, that's actually the thing. We actually have call signs in our team.
Yep.
And some people have had their call signs for a while, so we let them keep it. But some people, when they come into the team, if they do something stupid, we follow the rule and they get a call sign for it.
Oh, yep.
And that's what you're known for.
And that's what you're known for.
Again, sorry, Joel.
Oh,
no. And we got Puddles. Matty. Reason he's called Puddles. Fell in a bloody puddle.
We've got someone called Iceman.
Oh, God.
He's actually an awesome guy. He's actually an awesome
He's very nice.
He does our design.
Yes, he's a lovely. Yeah, we like Jordan.
The reason we gave him Iceman is because we went on a training, like a 2-day training thing.
Yes, I remember well.
Sure it was like we asked him 4 times to get ice, and every single time he went out of the field, went to go get stuff, would come back.
It was a 20-minute drive to the nearest shop, by the way.
Yeah, all the way back into Parakai.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I remember turning up, and you were like, everything all right? And he's like, ice, just, ice, that was it, ice.
That's exactly all we asked for.
All he had to do was bring ice. Yeah.
And now we actually did, for this movie event, the exact same story came up. Because we didn't have ice. Because
we didn't have Iceman either, so remind us.
So I was late to the event. But as soon as I asked in our chat, I'm like, okay, is there anything that we need? Like, what if, literally, Mags just, I'm pretty sure it was Mags, instantly an explanation mark, ice! And I was like, oh, here we go again.
Did you pack plenty of sunblock?
You bitch ass, I did. Oh my god, I refuse to let any of those boys out onto the field until I've had a good dose of sunscreen. Unfortunately, the Saturday when we went up, because we stayed overnight up there, we arrived late because JC had a job for real life job stuff as things happen.
Worky works.
I find out at the end of the day that no one put sunscreen on.
No, of course they didn't. Of course they didn't.
First thing I do Sunday morning, right, everyone get the hell up, get your asses over there, you're getting dose of sunscreen.
Leon's like, oh, when we saw you after the event at H3, Leon was like, oh, I've got to make sure she's got sunblock.
He told me in the Bastion chat after that game, should have put sunblock on.
He came back sunburnt as hell.
Yeah, Team Mom.
But he doesn't, again, he's no hair, no hat.
Not a lot of shade.
Yeah, out in the field there's bugger all shade.
We grew up with flip-flop slap and rap.
I grew up in England. You were lucky if we saw the bloody sun.
That's true.
You're South Africa.
I'm South African. So,
What part of South Africa?
Oh, we moved around quite a bit.
Yep.
So it's like we were Clarkstorp, George. Yeah, we moved around quite a lot. My parents owned some businesses, so they kind of like traveled around. My dad worked in the mines, so he was all over the place.
For geographical reference, Clarkstorp and Georgia, right near the very bottom, not Cape side, not Durban side, but like right south. So like the very tip.
So did you do any military service over there, or were you?
No, I moved here when I was
9,
this was
I
ages
think.
ago. I think I was 8 and I turned 9 on the plane. I'm pretty sure.
Oh well, you could. There's still little twinges of your accent in there, even though you've been here for so long.
Yeah, I still kind of keep my heritage, or like my South African. I do like it, but I also don't. You know, there's like good and bad with everything.
Yeah.
So
the love of the military stuff, where did that come from?
that actually came from my dad.
Okay.
So my dad did serve.
Yep.
Because it was part of the
Thank him for his service.
Yeah. So he did serve. From there, when he moved over here, I think he came here 3 or 4 years before we came here.
Yep.
So we didn't really see him that much for those 4 years, obviously. And then when we came here, I kind of just grew up like learning about like military service and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I think just over time, it just started like, going like, okay, yeah, no, it's pretty serious. And then found out that like almost every single male in my family was in the military, and I was like, okay, so it's kind of like part of
hundreds of years.
Yeah, it's like part of my.
Yeah,
like, I need to follow.
It's in the blood.
Follow it.
It's in the blood.
Yeah.
Yep. So for you, how did you get into airsoft and the military?
This guy.
So you met him and was like, I want him. I need to do this.
Funny story. We met at art school.
So I went to a military school, and then after that, I left, like obviously to go work, and then after I like worked for like I think it was like 2 years or so, I was like, you know what, screw it, gonna go to art school and go do game design, and then
like video game design.
Like video game design.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, hell yeah, like I'm gonna do this. And
I was thinking sort of like Picasso. I could just imagine you missing an ear with a paintbrush.
This is where
Van Gogh. Oh
I know, Greg.
This is the funniest thing. So obviously, I can't paint or draw for like to save my life. And the thing that got me into art school was actually 3D modeling. So I actually went to there to do. Yeah.
Yes.
I love Blender. Like I absolutely love it, and I hate Maya with a passion. It's a program.
Okay.
So
thought it was like
so Blender's just like a free version.
Okay.
It's an open source version of Maya, pretty much.
Yeah, which is another like.
I've got a 3D printer, but I don't CAD.
I
have no idea how to do that. So all the shit I 3D print, I get other people to do.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So now I know you CAD. you'll be getting some phone calls.
So I actually went into art school, and this was where, like, obviously, you know, family stuff happened, and then I went into art school, and then I spent 2 years in art school. That's where we met. I met Georgia, and then
Shall I
after
go
art
into
school,
detail?
what? What with arts? No, oh, you mean? What?
Okay, there's something
Oh,
there.
here we go.
Alright. For those of you who don't know, which is probably 99% of y'all.
Actually, fun fact: I'm actually super socially awkward. Like, I actually have got real bad anxiety.
Oh,
To the point where he was known as Edgy Kyle. He sat in the corner, did not talk to anyone, headphones on, all goddamn day, did not utter a word until about 8 months into our first course.
Literally. And the funniest thing was that when we reached, like, when people started actually talking to me in school, was actually when we did our first movie.
It was
And
a
our
short film.
first short film that we did. We had to group up, and obviously I was like, all like, oh, I don't really want to, like, talk to people.
2
I
minute
wanna, like...
skit, silent film, right?
So,
Yep.
For context, my team's short film was about a guy who lost a pet rock. Okay? It was on a leash, and it had a little googly eyes on it, and it came to the pet rock wandered away. Just so you get an idea of the level of what we were working with.
Sophisticated.
I
Right?
decided.
Absolutely sophisticated.
That is, yeah.
So I decided it was a good idea to tell my team, like, oh guys, let's do like a cool ass movie because I've got like all this really cool looking real gear. So everyone was like, oh, okay, like what is it? I'm like, oh, everyone come to my house, like let's film. And then everyone arrived at my house and I pulled out an MP5 and then everyone looked at me like I was crazy and then
Yeah.
Typical quiet
I-
kid.
I know
no
that.
joke. That is exactly what happened when we released the short
We all
film.
had a presentation at the end of this course. The very first thing that we see is JC sitting there crouched over a dying body.
Fully blacked out, MP5, skull mask on, and literally after the short film, teacher was like, okay guys, like, you know, everyone chill out. JC, just stay after.
We need to have
Yeah,
words. We need to have words.
It was
The
exactly
whole class were just shell shocked. They were all
Yeah.
just sitting there like stunned mullets going like,
My poor neighbour, like the day he moved in, like they were messing around. He couldn't get the moving truck down. And he didn't have a kettle or anything. And I said to him, oh, "Do you want a cuppa, mate?" And he's like, "Oh, that'd be lovely." I said, "Oh, come on in." He walks into this.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he walked in at the middle of this. Went, I said, "It's okay. I'll be fine." That's all right. Come on in. Come on in. There he saw Eddie in the corner.
Oh.
You know, at the time Eddie was here, so he walked in through the
The
door
door first and then
And
I was like,
you're looking
oh.
straight at a
The thing
mannequin.
you see coming into the door is just Kit, just for your
Room full
reference.
of toy guns.
It is literally just.
Yeah, it also had a bit more like accessories on it.
Yeah. Oh no, it did have the armband on. There was lots. Again, he didn't have the tactical baguette, but he was in full regalia. Yeah. So I love making silly props. That's my hobby. And the tactical baguette, I didn't have a melee weapon. And so somebody said, you need a melee weapon for this game. And so I wrapped a piece of foam, cut it to make it look like a French stick, and wrapped it in barbed wire.
Please tell me you took that to.
Oh, I've got kills with that.
And played
Hell
as like
yeah.
a French rebel.
Yeah, I've not
Smacking people with it.
dressed as a German soldier. I've killed people with that. I wandered up behind a dude and just went whack on the back of his head.
That's
Yeah.
got Iceman's Mana General vibes.
I don't get many stealth kills because I'm a Sasquatch, for want of a better word. I lumber around. I'm not stealthy. No, I'm not stealthy. I'm not. I always say I'm built for comfort, not speed. But yeah. I don't get many sneaky kills. But I don't mind that so much.
No, I reckon I'm pretty bad at sneaky kills too.
Oh, dude, I never see you. Like, I never see you in a game.
More because I'm like behind everyone, being like, "Guys, go over there." Go over there.
As the team photographer, I don't even see this guy. He's just invisible. I will go literally 7, 8, 9 hours where I do not see him.
But you still play it as
I
well.
absolutely do play,
Yeah.
but for the team, when I'm going for the Milson side of things, I'm not a Milson player.
No.
So when I...
You're a juggernaut.
I'm a juggernaut.
Oh, that was terrifying. Oh, it's bring back memories.
When I go and attend these Milson events, I'm usually there just taking photos
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
But of course, I get the bombardment of people asking me, "Can you take a picture of me doing this? Can you do that?" Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Will
Yeah.
not see JC for
No.
hours on
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
These 24, 48-hour Milsons, I will have no idea where he is.
So you go for all 2 days.
Yeah, so there is
Camp there overnight, playing all through the night.
there is a series called MIA.
Yep.
Which it's a Milsim series, so their whole thing is Milsim, and they
Yep.
do 24-hour events.
Yep.
So I think they've got one in Christchurch coming up. They're pretty good with like pretty cool Milsim series.
Do you do a lot of the 24 hours, 48
I love
hours?
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's a
I'm not
shame.
going to this one,
That's-
but I've done everyone before that.
We're going to do for our October game this year. We'll look at doing a 24-hour horror game.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'll make some props
Yeah.
and stuff, and we'll
Spooky
do.
time.
Yeah, we'll do some spookies.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no.
Scare the shit out of people, werewolves and shit.
I think the whole thing for me is 'cause
Owls
I
and
actually
buttons.
really enjoy the Milsim side of
Yeah.
like airsoft.
Yeah.
That's what I really enjoy.
Yeah.
That's my like.
Yeah.
My,
Look, we went off recruitment. We were talking about recruitment. So, you gave me some cards.
yes.
So, are you going to put again? If anybody needs a card, just give us a holler. I can give you one, but a card that is. Otherwise, where else can they get hold of you? How else can they get?
So we've got a Instagram,
Which
that we've
is
started up.
oh, here we go. Gets his phone. Don't know it off the top of your noggin.
No, it's because I misspelled something. before. Yeah, so it's
Dyslexic.
ghostcompany.gc.
Yep.
So we also have an email, which is ghostcompany.nz.
Okay.
That's
And
what-
people can email you if they're interested in
Yep,
joining.
So, usually we're a bit more active on our Instagram.
Okay. Don't do Facebook.
No, we don't have a Facebook yet. That's the thing that I haven't started up
It's
yet.
funny. I'm the other way round. I've got Facebook. I haven't got Insta yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're old.
Oh,
Wow, ready.
And he set up my Facebook.
But no, you'll find our Instagram on the cards as well. So if you scan the QR code,
Because there's a QR
yeah,
code.
there's a QR code on the back of it.
I need to put. Yeah, I'm going to steal that idea. I'm going to put
Otherwise,
websites.
So we are actually busy building our own
Okay.
website right
Yeah.
now. We're also going to be releasing our own merch on it as well.
I saw
Which we
the
have been-
designs.
yeah.
Those are very nice.
We've been working on it for a little bit, and we just want to
Yeah.
make sure that everything's obviously
Yeah.
like
ready to go.
ready
Yeah.
to go because we don't want to release too early.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we want to make sure that
You don't want to peak too soon, as it were.
No.
Yeah. So I'm very like for me in particular, I'm very like I want my stuff.
Sorry, a little giggle from the city.
Just thinking,
Was it that what she said moment?
coming prematurely to the. Anyway, no.
Bloody teenagers,
Kids, man.
dude. Sorry, carry on.
No,
You were
so
saying.
I want to make sure my like when I release something, it's
Yeah.
it's good. I
Very
don't like
good.
releasing something that's not
Yeah.
like good.
So how did you come up with the name Ghost Company?
Well, it actually started off with our first chat, which was the GCGC, which was
The good. Yeah.
yep the
Yeah.
yep, and then from there we were like, oh okay, well like we actually kind of need to like actually think of a name because we're starting to get a bit bigger. People are starting to ask a bit about us.
Yep.
So then we got together, made Ghost Company, and then made the name first, and then we thought of a logo, and I don't know
Who
exactly
came up with the logo?
Was
Made by
actually
yours truly.
so
Nice.
What do you think I went to art school for?
Oh,
we brought
do you
the
do
idea
logo
of-
design and stuff?
Eh.
That's race cars.
Well, currently what I do right now for a real life job is actually engraving. So I do a lot of redraws of logos and things like that for lots of corporate companies, and
Okay.
I put them onto cut faces and things like that. So I'm always constantly around logos and art things like that anyways.
Okay.
We did study logo design in university as one of our minor courses, and it's just something that I can kind of...
It's a good logo. I like those stickers. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick them on 4 things. I was going to say everything, but only got 4. I did have some Bastion stickers around here somewhere. I don't know where I put them.
It's alright.
I'll find them later.
So we got the idea from kind of the Pac-Man Ghost.
Yep.
And then we're like, because we with the logo, we didn't want to go too serious and be like all like super elitist type thing.
It is quite whimsical.
Yeah, so
We're
we
not
wanted to
super
throw a
serious,
joke at
so-
it, and we're like, well, Pac-Man Ghost,
Yep.
And
Take
flop a
the
helmet
Pac-Man
on his head.
put nods on him, a tactical helmet. There you go. And then
Bumps your ankle.
our whole thing was okay. So we got the logo sorted, and then we thought of like a slogan almost, which is "Live by the BB," because
Live
we
by
play
the sword.
airsoft, so
Yep.
why not?
Yep.
And it was just kind of like a joke thing at the start, and then it kind of just turned a bit more serious and serious and serious, and then came into where we are now, which is a bit more.
It was funny at first, and then it just stuck. And then you
Yeah,
have to use it.
now we have to
Yeah.
use it. But I mean, it still fits the theme because it's like
But
You really like
Yeah.
by the baby.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you play every weekend?
we used to, but I'm doing a bit more. I've slowed down a bit, but that's because I'm.
Is that because you're old now?
Nah, that's actually more because I'm focused.
Yeah.
I'm focused on getting our stuff sorted
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Because
Running the slightly more business side of things behind the scenes, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
getting your merch sorted.
yeah,
Which did some lovely merch, by the way. I must admit, I am a little jealous. I've got cups.
The nice cups. Though.
Bloody lovely cups. But I've got cups. And patches. I've got some patches knocking about.
yeah, we still because we currently when you join the team, you get pretty much like patched when you finally join the team, and
Yep.
you get your own Ghost Company patch.
Yep.
Which is fully designed by our designer.
Yep.
And he's like, made the patch, so that is something that we give out free to
Yep.
the team member.
Yep.
And then we also have a T-shirt like the one I've got on now, which gets your call sign on it.
Ooh,
So
very
So
nice.
it's customized.
each person has their own customized call
That's
sign,
very nice.
and soon enough we're also doing customized hats. For,
So you need to stop this because the Brotherhood are going to be like, oh, I want customised stuff.
We've got a small team, guys. Just
it's easier to do with a smaller team than
Yeah.
it is to do with a larger group.
when we're not mass producing quite yet.
Yeah.
Well, what's he in the Brotherhood now? 45?
Yeah, see, we're running with a team of maybe
I think 10. would
10
count.
maximum at the moment, so
Yeah.
it's still relatively doable in
Yeah.
the budget. So
Yeah. So do you ever envisage running games later on down the track, or are you just going to stay as a team?
Honestly, I don't know. Like at the start, I said no completely
Yeah.
to it because I felt like it was too much work to run a team plus hosting.
like we're a team that goes to events.
Yeah.
So you'll find us up and down the country pretty much.
Yeah.
We travel relatively frequently.
Are you going to join the league, do the league stuff?
Yes. So we are going to get a team together to run.
Okay.
Run. In the
Oh,
league.
well, we will see you down there on the battlefield. We're also going to go down and get a team and go down.
Ooh.
So yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
Bastion.
Yeah, we'll be-
Rivalry.
we'll be patched up.
Yeah, so we're definitely gonna get a team down there, which is pretty cool because I feel like this is gonna be our first like proper show
As
Show off
a
force,
proper
if you want,
team.
as a proper team. So I want to try to get that like rolling because we're gonna start doing some training
We
and
did
stuff
do
for it.
nationals last year, the Milsom side of it.
Yeah, we
How
did.
was that?
Oh, the Milsom side was like pretty.
That was
Pretty awesome.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That was
enjoyed
done
it.
at the UX site.
Yeah. Yeah, we
We
missed
liked
out
it
on
a lot.
tickets
Mm.
by like 2 days.
Yeah, because the UX side is pretty cool. I mean, like,
UX.
urban area. It's
Yeah.
like
Again, it's one of those places. Like I said in the video, it felt like a once in a lifetime
Yeah.
experience.
It was
100%.
absolutely incredible going
So-
at the first game.
Yeah.
and
It was like everything
Yeah.
was intact. There was a bunch of buildings out there now.
Oh, and not urine and poo and smashed up
Yeah.
toilets.
yeah.
And
Again, it's
copper pipes torn up.
yeah, all the electrics pulled out of the ground now. They've
Yeah.
yeah, they've got it trashed, which is a shame. It's a shame for us as airsofters because it's made it
Why
a little
not
bit more
Blue
dangerous.
Moon?
Yeah. And it's not that expensive to hire.
Nah, it's not. I feel like you could actually, like, it was a really, really good film, and I feel like there's just obviously some people in the public.
Yeah.
that
Again,
feel like
this is a podcast exclusive, but the Brotherhood have been talking very early stages of talking about doing a private game in there.
Yeah.
So, well, you're in the chat.
Yeah.
So, it's something that we're looking at doing.
I mean,
Invite only, just
yeah,
all our friends.
because I feel like that film might not be around for too long. The way that it's going.
Yeah,
It would
well,
be awesome to
yeah,
get the use out of it
Yeah.
while we can.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It is fantastic. It's a shame that the last game we didn't utilize the buildings as much as we could have, or the game wasn't indicative to using the buildings as much as it could
wasn't
have.
geared towards it,
Yeah, it was, but it was still, again,
Still a good game.
yeah. I get to run around with people like Leon and Bobby and this fella,
Just have fun.
just shout obscenities and laugh at people. That's my airsoft experience. Fall over a lot.
Fall over.
that's my airsoft. My airsoft. Oh, Ken.
Oh,
Ah,
don't you break any ankles, man. I'm not doing that again.
I'm scaphoids. I do my wrist a lot.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Because I'm a heavy set man. And, the big bone, I think, is the vernacular.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
But I've got really skinny little arms, so they have a tendency to snap when I try and break my fall. Romain saw me fall one day, and again, I've known Romain now 8 years. His initial instinct was, "Are you all right, sir?" Because I felt like an elderly man. Yeah. No, don't remind me. God, I feel like a brick. I'm awful at it.
I could never fall over. I have the most.
Don't go on rainy days, okay?
Pristine footwear.
Dear,
Oh, we're talking about footwear.
his
You with
Crocs.
your tactical Crocs.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, we can't bring up, footwear without bringing that.
And they've got the most amazing fucking socks that go with it every time.
You're wearing your chicken's feet ones. What were you doing?
Why?
Yes, I do
Right.
remember that.
Why?
Egg socks.
Bacon and egg socks on Crocs.
And you got like your little things on there as well.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're called.
the little
Charm. Is it a
Your little
charm?
charms or something.
Giblet or some
Gimlet?
weird stuff like that.
Giblet?
Giblet.
Giblet, something can't have a chicken.
Well, there you go, chicken feet.
Oh,
Every time up at a game, every time, without fail, it's always a
Please
tactical
tell me you
Crocs.
put them in sports mode. Don't we?
Yeah.
He does.
Okay, good.
Always.
You got
because
one thing right.
the one time he didn't, he
He
lost one in the bottle.
He lost it!
I got them back, but
Okay.
they were brown instead of green, and it was disgusting.
You ran about half the day in just socks.
Yeah.
That must have
Wasn't it like winter time as well? So it was like
Yeah, it
muddy
was
as
super
hell.
muddy. It was
Yeah.
It was terrible. There was no smile right there, but I would continue.
Absolutely hilarious. We were
Push through
rolling on the ground laughing.
Yeah, still he hasn't changed. He still wears his bloody Crocs. You who loved him in Crocs.
Oh, yeah. For like 3 days, I was on his Facebook.
Crocs. So can your team wear Crocs?
No. You don't bring this up, okay? I want strictly good boots. Make sure everyone's
Sensible
wearing
footwear.
safety, like
Sensible
The
footwear.
one rule we have with the uniform is no Crocs.
No Crocs. Yeah, I should put that in our dress.
So
Sorry.
if you're going into a scrum, like
Sorry, Reedy.
don't wear whatever you want,
If when we do Armored Fury in a couple of years, he'll probably still be in Crocs.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, like that's kind of like a good thing. Like if you really like destroy
mean-
a team and you're wearing Crocs, that's like
That's a
That's it.
flex.
that's flexible.
Yeah.
You're like,
Exactly.
I like
That's
destroying
so
you guys with
dominance.
Crocs on.
Just assert dominance on everybody.
Yeah.
He might be preparing. I've heard of some future possible ideas of having an amphibious assault in future games somewhere.
Ooh, then
he could
Crocs would
He could be
work.
on something.
Crocs would work.
I don't know. I haven't got any confirmation, but that might be something that's in future planning.
Ooh, there's some lots of fun stuff coming up over the next few years. Like, so Operation Stone Garden's happening.
Yes.
That's end of this year, beginning of next sometime.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. We went to the first one. The first one was actually... I'm pretty sure I actually almost got hypothermia from that event. Because I was just so
It was so
focused.
cold.
I was so focused at that event being
It's
outside.
cold down by the
It's
mountain.
so cold there.
So
That
cold.
home and
Especially
he
with-
just complained the whole
The
time.
field's like right below the mountain.
Yeah.
So like you feel that cold.
Oh hell yeah! But that's going to be fun. What else is coming up? There's some loads of stuff. So we've got Cage's game next weekend. Again, hopefully this podcast will be
that's
up by
this weekend.
this weekend.
This weekend.
We've got Whangarei coming up next. Oh, we've got our social Saturdays. But there's some good stuff coming up. What else is coming up? Oh, the league stuff
Yeah,
down.
the NZAL.
Yeah.
Which
So
that's being hosted with I think AWI is
Yeah.
just hosting.
yeah,
hosting
and
that.
Special FX
Yeah, Special Effects is going.
are running it.
Yeah.
So that skirmish system. Have you used it?
We haven't used it, but I have looked a lot into it.
Oh, it's
And-
good.
It looks
It-
really
it- It made OPAF real simple.
good. It's a really good system though, because everyone just gets like pretty much like a watch, and they
And
just,
you
like,
tap it on the
scan.
screen.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Sounds
It's
brilliant.
So
very good managing system.
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah.
So it registered how many times you died, how many bases you took, how long you spent, where you went on the field. Like it had,
It tracks the whole,
it was,
the whole thing.
and you had a live map, so you can see as you're playing
Was that on your phone?
on my phone, on my chest rig, just up on here, on my thingy on here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you. Oh.
And so
man.
we had a live map, and so it's like, oh shit, they're taking lower base. Well,
Could you track your team, like your,
not so much your team,
but the field
but the field.
and objectives?
and who was taking objectives, who held objectives, what ones were being sort of attacked and stuff, and which ones were in transition.
Yeah.
And then, also whenever you died, you tapped it to get back in, so it registered
Also, yeah,
all your
that's
deaths.
That's
Man,
cool.
that's actually really cool.
I didn't
That's
know
a
it did
really
that.
good system.
It's a great system. And so for something like a league,
That works
I-
amazing.
Amazing.
on the Armoured Fury page, they put down the list of who won, how many,
I
who,
saw that.
and,
yeah.
and it was all just correlated from the data that they picked up from these half a dozen, 2 dozen little black, like my yellow case up there. They look like that, but they're all black with a glass screen on the front.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and you just
And that was it. Yeah,
That's really good. That's
Very
a
good
really
system.
nice system to
Yeah.
track,
yeah,
I feel.
yeah. And it will keep something like a league honest.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
you again, it's airsoft. You're always going to get people playing airsoft meters.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Henry's good for airsoft meters. So they, like fallback 20. But with that, you've got to go back and touch that once you hit.
Yeah. Which then makes it like real honest. Like
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
way around it, really.
No, it was a good system. Easy to use as well. Like when you
Which-
get there, set your band up, it reads it.
I feel like
you're gonna go all day.
that's like a very important thing to make it sure that it's like real simple and like
Yeah,
easy
yeah.
to use.
Especially
Yeah.
for mass use as well. So,
Yeah, when you've got like 100 players
Yeah.
herding
You
cats.
can't keep track of all that.
No, hell no, hell no. Like keeping track of 20 or 30 is hard enough.
Mm.
Yeah.
The-
can barely keep track of myself, my friend.
well, we were talking earlier before the podcast started about apps on
Yeah.
your phone, like to track and stuff. Like we've been playing around with Ares Alpha. But what was the one you were saying again? Sorry.
We're using ATAC,
Yeah.
and we're going to start like doing a bit more work with ATAC.
So overlaying.
Yeah, so with ATAC, you can like overlay the map on the actual app itself,
Yeah.
and then you can also integrate it into something called a Meshtastic unit, which
So is that a separate sort of box?
so it's pretty much its own open source like software almost, if you
Yeah.
want to call it that. I actually learned through it from Gareth from AWI.
Yep.
He actually showed it to me, and I looked a bit more into it. And it's pretty much like a whole tracking unit. And,
Yep.
The cool thing with it is it's all free and open software.
Yep.
So you can like just download it, and all you need to do is go buy the parts pretty much.
Yep.
And build it yourself. And it's actually super simple. So it's like literally like a little circuit board. You can put a GPS unit on it.
Yep.
And you can put like a few things on it, connect it to the phone. And then from there, you need no internet, no.
And so if you make
no service, no nothing.
you'll need one of those little trackers for each member of your team,
member, if you want to track each member. So,
and then they can then follow all the different trackers on their own phone.
yeah, so if you want to set it up that way, you can.
Yep.
Or what you can do is like how we're going to personally do it is I will have my my phone system on me, which
Yep.
is going to be my ATAC unit.
Yep.
And then Mags, which is my 2IC, he's going to have an ATAC unit on it. And we're going to be the ones that can track and look at all the data.
Because the dancers don't need to know
so
what the thinkers are doing.
Because how we're going to try to do it is me and Mags is going to try to take the bulk of the trying to sort the tactics out, trying to sort the admin out,
Yep.
radio work,
Yep.
all that stuff. We're going to take majority of that work off and use it on our own.
Yep.
And then the riflemen and the machine gunners and grenadiers and whatever else, those guys can just straight up focus on shooting shit.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
their job.
Yep.
So we want to try to make it more streamlined for them to pretty much focus on doing their job.
Yep.
And we focus on telling them exactly what to do. So we do the management of it, and they just hit hard, be the spearhead. pretty much.
What are you going to house that unit
The-
in?
The Meshtastic
The
unit.
fantastic stuff.
So there's a few different ways you can do it.
And how big would that
So
unit
it's
be?
actually not that big. Like it's almost as big as like those sunglasses.
So about.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
actually
no.
make it smaller than that probably.
So could you fit it in, say, like a magazine?
Yeah, you could put it in a magazine.
So you can put it in.
Yeah.
So again, you could make.
You can make it as big and as small as you want.
Yeah.
So
sorry,
we
making a noise.
there's some people that's using them, that's turning them into like little like node units.
Mhm.
I saw someone on Instagram. I think it was someone from Berg Squad. They built it into like a realistic multi GPS unit type thing.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So it looked like a real
Yep.
system that you would actually run on your kit.
Yep.
Some people put them in like little units that's like big, like fist size almost. So we're looking at whichever ones we can. I'm probably going to try to make them into the smallest I possibly can.
Yep.
Because for me, if I can have them small and put them in everyone's, like my entire team's kit, I can track the entire team and where they're at.
Yep.
And then from there, I can rename each one of those units to whoever's call sign it is. For
Yep.
example, mine's Chief. I'll rename mine Chief or GC01 because we've got like letter and number call signs as well.
Yep.
So then I can pretty much just be on a radio to my team, go like, Irish, I see that you're here. Move right 20 meters. There's going to be a guy in front of you.
Yep.
You know, that's simple. Or I could be like, Mags, can you go sort these four out because those four are on that side of the field. I'll sort these four out because they're on my side of the field. So it's just going to be a lot easier to kind of split your team up when you need to or micromanage your team when needed.
Yep.
Because obviously I'm not a big fan of the micromanage thing. For me, I like to be like, okay, guys, our objective is go capture that flag, send it, go
Off
capture
you
it.
go. Yeah.
I don't want to be
you
like,
will.
take the left side of the hill and push up this way. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. We all know
Yeah.
people who are like that.
yeah.
That's not the spirit of GC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like using that unit and the Meshtastic unit and like the ATAX unit combined
Yeah.
will just make pretty much field management
Yep.
a lot easier for our team.
So you had on what you showed me, you'd overlaid the UX map
Yeah. So
on top of the GPS.
yeah. So the ATAX unit or the ATAX app is pretty much just like
And it's just on your
it's
phone.
pretty much Google Maps if
Yep.
you want to really
Yep.
go into detail with it. Except you just can do a lot more with it. And then what you can do is you can take a map, like let's say a map of a PDF that you've got, and you can rotate it to exactly how you want, and then you can plop it down. So what you can do is you can actually rename a map and put grid references on the map and whatever, and you can lay it over the map so that you can like on that map be like go to grid reference
blah 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah.
Yep.
So and then with that, how I'm going to do it is we're pretty much making maps of every field.
Yep.
Slowly, and we're actually making it real basic for us.
Yep.
So each grid reference will be like on the left side, instead of being like 378 and then on the top be like 494, whatever. We're trying to break it down to make it super simple.
Yep.
So it's just going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then the top
1, 2, 3,
one
4,
will be
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's just easy. If someone doesn't know how to read a map, that's all good. We're trying to cater to those people. That's going to be like, okay,
it's
go to 1A or A1.
Yeah, it's not a skill that a lot of people use these days. Map reading.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger, we did orienteering and stuff because there was no video games.
Yeah.
So
I did a bit of orienteering as well.
Oh, very good. Where did you orienteer?
Oh, we used to do like inter-school competitions. So like every Wednesday afternoon, we go around Auckland and go to different schools and do like maps and things like that around the school fields and things like that. Unfamiliar schools that we weren't familiar with. I'm a Westie, so all of my schools, we basically had everything in Henderson. We went over to the shore, we've been down south, we've been pretty much anywhere within an hour's drive, our space, and just got given map coordinates and off we go.
Go find some stuff. Yeah. They keep dying up.
It is 100% dying up. I think it is important to actually learn it, but then I also think it's important to cater to the people that haven't learnt it and that don't want to learn it.
We all have phones. I say we all have phones.
We all have phones with GPS and stuff like
and
that.
So
nowadays.
Google Maps, Apple Maps.
Yeah. We at the moment we're messing around with Aries Alpha, which I've been quite enjoying. We used it at UX, but we've been using it up at our site mainly so I know where the other refs are.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's a brilliant idea.
Because it's like, well, where are you?
Between the big tree and the kind of medium one.
Yeah.
When you're sitting in a forest.
Yeah. It's you know, we there's especially being admins, there's a lot of times where it's like, I need you to come to me. Where are you? And so it's like that sort of thing was really interesting to find out. And again, I forget where did we get it from? Off of a YouTuber was using it. Was it Airsoft Cam Man or Kicking Mustang? Somebody in a ghillie suit was using it. I thought, oh, that's a bloody good idea. What have we got that here? And that was the first I'd ever heard of it. Mm-hmm. And then I started playing around with it. Somebody else had another one, and I didn't realise there was so many of those apps.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I feel like it's peaking or like getting higher in the market just because it's making Airsoft actually a lot easier to manage and making games a lot more.
And Airsoft in New Zealand is growing. It's, you know,
it's 100% growing.
Like we talked about before the podcast. There's so much choice now.
Yeah. Compared to like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and games every weekend. Yeah. You can play every weekend somewhere.
Yeah. What do you want to do? You want to go fight some Milsim plagues so you can sit there and be on the field 48 hours? Or do you want to just go and shoot some guys for 2 or 3, 4 hours?
Yeah.
2 hours drive away.
Yeah. We're talking of drives away. Where's the furthest you've played?
Taranaki, I think.
I think Taranaki.
I think Stone Garden's been the furthest we've played.
We've had thoughts about going down to a game in Wellington with some of the guys down there.
So we're actually going to probably in the middle of this year or the end of this year. We're probably gonna hire a van and just go on a little roadie and go play.
Take the GC boys.
That'd be nice, man.
Nice long rowdy roadies.
Yeah.
In a multi-seater, like
a bigger van
bus, and then camp other places.
Yeah, I've really wanted to do this for the boys because I feel like it's up to like us to kind of make the team, fun. So, and what's more fun than jumping in a camper and
Going out and
exploring New Zealand and playing airsoft. I mean,
hell yeah, hell yeah.
JC and I ourselves, we've been contemplating flying down to the South Island, play some snow games, for example.
Ooh,
yeah,
I haven't been to the snow in a while.
yeah, we really want to go
We
play.
like a lot
more.
of traveling
Yeah,
personally.
yeah.
So.
I really want to go play more games down in the South Island because I feel like that's like, I mean,
It's unexplored territory. A
Yeah,
lot of it. It's
yeah.
huge.
You see a lot of games in New Zealand are mostly North Island based.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And of course, we can't make this MIA down Christchurch because of unfortunate timing, and we've got things already planned and things like that. We'd really love to go, but like.
Life's an airsoft has to wait.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately.
There's certain things that come beforehand.
Yeah,
So.
you got to earn a crust. You got to earn a crust. You know, I must admit though, I do like to travel from the airsoft.
Mm.
Like we were up at Whangarei last weekend, been down to Tar. But that's Taranaki is the furthest we've been. But yeah, I loved it down there.
Regularly, day romps down TAC as well. So.
yeah, we used to go to TAC actually.
Yeah.
But, like we went, I don't know, I think in 2 months, I think we went like 3 times.
It's been a while since we've been there though, but definitely worth the trip.
Yeah, I definitely have to admit, after getting a bit more serious with GC, we have slowed down on going to games, which I want to pick back up.
Yep.
But I think that's just naturally where it fell, or naturally where I fell with all the doing a lot of the admin stuff,
Yeah.
trying to get the team running
Organising
properly.
admin stuff.
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Technical.
well, admin takes up a lot of
A
time.
lot of time
Yeah.
and a lot of brain power.
Yeah,
It just
Yeah.
takes it on out of you, really.
yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. We again, this entity of what we're trying to achieve, you know, bringing airsoft to more people. It takes effort.
Yeah.
I
It
look
really
at
does.
I look at what Tar did for OPAF. The effort that went into that, the logistics of getting that person, all of that together, food, tenting, the skirmish system, the tanks, making sure that there was all the patches, everything that went into that. It's like, geez, that took some effort.
I mean, it's hard
Yeah.
enough even with us, because like every game we go to, we've got all our setup and pack down.
Yeah, you do
That goes-
quite a nice setup.
That goes everywhere
Yeah.
with us, and that's more than a whole car full of crap.
Yeah.
We've got a better setup being worked on now.
Oh, okay. You're going to need a bigger
Plans
boat.
in the works.
There is plans in the works, which hopefully will. Because I feel like since GC's grown now, like we're starting to get like obviously on merch and all that kind of stuff. Usually we just got there, put up a gazebo and some tables and some chairs.
I see you got some nice flags.
Yes, now we've got some flags that we're going to start running. We're going to get it hopefully soon. We're going to get a gazebo with our logo
Oh,
and everything
the-
on it.
Ooh.
So we want to try to, you know,
Make
try
fancy
to get a little bit
proper
fancy.
Yeah,
But
nice.
I feel like that also will boost morale for the team. If you,
when you again when I see Bastion stuff out in the wild,
yeah.
it makes me go, oh,
It's a whole feeling, isn't it?
yeah,
I feel proud of my team when I see my team turning up to events with GC t-shirts on and
Yeah.
like their hats and whatever on.
Yeah.
Even on our training days, when they come in, like just their personal merchy clothes, it's just like that's what it's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Yes, yeah, we need to get more. I'm sorry, guys, I need to get more merch.
It's expensive.
I know.
It's a lot of work because
Yeah,
you can't just like release any merch.
no,
And
There's a lot of
well, in my
planning,
opinion,
organisation.
you have to, and also on top
Research.
of that is the financial, like what you have to put in financially, because you can't just go to a place and then order it from there. You have to
Yeah.
order test samples. You have to
Mm.
make sure that the printing quality's good. You don't want to.
Most of our stuff was out of pocket as well.
Yeah.
We don't have really a GC specific budget. Sometimes we do ask for a little bit
Yeah,
in between, but most of the time it's just
It's just me and
Me.
yeah,
me and
yeah,
Georgia that
yeah.
fund
Blunt and I do the
Yeah.
same for Bastion. Yeah, we I feel your pain. I feel you. That's merch is one thing that again, I haven't avoided, but every time I've looked into it, it always seems, because we are in the middle of nowhere in New Zealand,
Yeah.
getting anything of quality normally means it costs a lot.
And then if you want to sell it, you have to sell,
Sell it even
And
more.
which that's the thing that
Yeah.
I'm also like, I don't want to sell a shirt for like $80. Like,
Yeah,
for
a
me, that's
T-shirt
just-
for $80
Yeah,
is
man, that's just
retarded.
unbelievably expensive. Like,
I
I'd
get
rather
an-
sell something for like 20, 30, $40.
I got annoyed having to sell the gum bags at 75.
Yeah, it's just,
That annoyed me.
yeah.
Understandably.
Bugger a
JC's gun
t-shirt.
bag, JC's gun box. We
Yeah.
bought it, what, $200 a
Yeah,
couple
so
of years
mine
ago?
cost $200.
I want to get the same box overseas. Also
So-
$200, but then it's
With
going to be
shipping.
$250 for
Just
shipping.
And it's like, what the heck?
$500 for the same box because we're in the middle
In
of
the,
nowhere.
at the arse end of nowhere.
Yeah.
And again, I've lived around this planet. I wouldn't live anywhere else. Because, my God, the rest of the world sucks. It doesn't. I don't just being
New
joking.
Zealand's really, really good.
It is. I love New
It's got
Zealand.
its own good qualities.
Yeah. And airsoft down here is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
We still get a lot of the guns. You know, we get most of the gear.
We get most of the Aussies that want to play over here too.
Oh, of course. Well, only gel blasters over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants something that only fires like 30 FPS?
Orbeez.
Orbeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. Man, we do get the toys here. We got some good gear in here. We got
we've got STG full actual gold AK.
yeah, we've got
Yeah,
some.
like-
You've seen the gold AKs, eh?
Yes. And I got to shoot the Carl.
The good stuff
That
is
was
nice.
brilliant.
Like I say, we get the toys. We do. What do you run at the moment?
I've got two rifles that I run.
Red rifles.
Yeah, so I got two main rifles I run. I run more for my Molson side of stuff. I run a Arcturus HK416
Yep.
A5, and then for my like day-to-day rifle, if you want to call it
Skirmishing.
that, my skirmish rifle, I run a Crytek Alpha, which I bought from a friend, and I've like we've got a
Modified.
team armorer.
Yep.
So
Oh,
I
he's
just
brilliant.
I gave my gun to him and I said, hey, this is what I want. And he's like, sweet, cool. And he does all of the teching now for our
He's
team.
brilliant.
So we've bought Mark 46 for our machine gunner.
Yep.
So we bought it out of pocket for him.
Yep.
So we've upgraded that. So he's got now almost like a fully upgraded LMG.
Yep.
My rifle's been upgraded. We're now we've currently got two Crytek's for our spare rifles,
Mhm.
but we're going to replace those with like maybe 4 of the same rifles.
So do you have, for want of a better word, rentals for your guys if anything goes down?
Yeah. So we've actually got a whole armory
Yeah.
that the team can
Dip into.
dip into
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
use. So obviously it's still small.
not
We-
as
we-
decked out as
yeah,
this,
not-
for
not
example.
This is an anomaly. Again, you don't find many rooms like this.
No.
No.
But yeah, so we are building up our armory slowly for our
Yep.
team to use.
Yep.
A big thing that we're focusing on is getting all of our specialized stuff.
Yep.
So I've pretty much the concept I'm going with is all of our team members are riflemen.
Yep.
So they must supply their own rifle. They
Yep.
must supply their own vests and gear.
Yep.
We will have spares if there's breakdown. At
Yep.
least we've got something for them to use.
Most of
But-
our armory is kitted to be backup at this point
Yeah.
in case something breaks.
Yeah.
But
all the specialty weapons, like the machine guns, the grenade launchers, snipers, that's all supplied by us.
Yeah.
So we'll buy all the like.
Are you going to get a Gustav?
I actually was looking
you've
at
been
getting one,
begging me.
but
What
money
about
is
the
really
ICS?
Begging me.
6-barrel grenade launcher.
So we've got a M320, which we just need to make a little modification on, so I can shoot tags.
Tags.
A little bit.
Tag rounds. Yeah.
So we're looking at a few other options for our tag-ins, but everything currently is just way too expensive.
Yeah.
to, like,
Well, the Gustav will only fire tag-ins if you modify the fire,
Right.
the firing system, and it's a 3D printed part.
Yeah.
So
Apparently it's firing tennis balls.
you can fire a tennis ball quite a way. and at people. And that's quite a lot of fun.
Mm.
So the dude who got shot at our last game with it, did you see his leg afterwards? The red
saw
mark.
it.
Oh my God.
Big red welt on his leg. Yeah, he enjoyed it, but that was
He
excellent.
wanted to get shot. That's what he got.
with a Gustav firing a tennis
I don't know
ball.
why you would put your head up for that. I wouldn't.
Rooster did. Rooster was the first person. Oh yeah, no, shoot me with it. That'll be excellent. You're a mental patient. Yeah.
I mean, I run around in a juggy suit for you. And
So we've got the Jug coming up again in May, if you're keen.
is that nice?
Yep.
Great.
And we're also got the bunny hunt. So we've got to sort out a sniper squad for that. That's going to be you, Henry, and Bucky.
I think
Is
Bucky
it
put
Bucky?
his hand up for it, didn't
Yeah, Bucky.
he? He didn't borrow a sniper though, but me.
Oh,
Right, he said,
yeah, no. Okay, I may have one or two up there.
Just
One
One
or
or
two, or three or four, five, or six
Yeah,
or
hold
seven.
on, wait. My counting is wrong here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, those are the ones up there. Then there's
Oh, there's another
Oh my
Then there's
God, there's
one
more?
there.
those are mine. Then there's Leon's.
So there is just maybe one or two.
One or two that he can
that
use.
he
Yeah.
can use.
Yeah, and same with LMGs. We've only got one or two of those.
Mm.
Yeah, it's.
One
I
or two. One.
well, yeah.
Three
Well,
or four.
4, 5,
Or-
or 6.
the reason I ask about guns is you run electric, eh? You,
Yeah, I don't know.
you
Yeah.
don't dabble with gas.
Nah, I found gas is. So there's been a few problems with gas, I've noticed.
He used to run gas.
I used to run gas,
Yep.
but one, I don't really have the time to maintain it, really.
It's a lot of work.
And two, I find that New Zealand's just not.
Not warm enough.
Not
not
the right
like-
climate.
Too cold.
Yeah, you can play with it, but you need to really like
Yeah.
that's your rifle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's not me right now. Right
So-
now, I focus more on the team, so I
Yeah.
just need something to
Yeah.
grab him. Grab and play.
So a lot more realism comes into it with a gassy because you only get
You only get like 30 rounds.
yeah, and
Yes.
you do have to maintain it. You
Yes.
cannot.
And the sound and the feeling and all that. Like,
Yeah. So
It
the,
does feel
all
better
that
shooting
stuff,
a gas.
yeah.
the new Sega 12, like on up at Whangarei, you could hear the difference between like the different guns that were on the
Yeah.
field, and so like Bobby's has got quite a
Yeah.
distinctive clack. Mine's got quite a distinctive zip.
But his is also electric. His,
Yeah.
It's like a VFC, BCM, something that's all tricked out.
Yeah, it's very
But
nice.
it's got a nice, it actually
Yeah.
does have like a loud clap.
And then the Sega was just over the top of it. Clack, 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 clack.
Oh, still boss units.
Oh, dude. Down at Armored
Oh,
Fury, the boss units down there.
We
Dude.
we had a Milsim game with MIA once. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was 3.
We've been to all of them.
Where
Just so complex.
We had Mags until I see he got something called an XM4, which
Yep.
is it's like an airsoft rifle without shooting
Yeah,
anything.
it's an M4 with a boss unit built into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Cook bought bought his to OPEF, and he got people to call their hits with it.
Yeah.
Doesn't fire a BB out of it. Just went bang bang bang. Do it here.
So Mags, this smart guy, decided, oh, there's JC, and we were like on the bottom of the hill getting pinned down, and I was like screaming at him to get like that thing moving and to make noise, and he decided to run up right next to me, and I had my one ear pro off, and this guy literally put the thing right next to the ear with no ear pro on.
Rested it on your
And
shoulder.
just let it rip.
Lethal Willis out there.
I didn't stop
Jeez
him
Louise.
because I was having so much fun,
Yep.
but then I also was not having so much fun because like I couldn't hear out of that.
Now your ears are ringing.
But damn, that was beautiful.
Have you fired many real steals?
Yes, yeah, I fired a few real stills.
I was going to say being a
which
Safi.
just- yeah,
Yeah.
I felt joy in my heart.
there's, like I really enjoy playing airsoft. I love these guns, but there is, like, I couldn't do a Polar Star or HPA system because you pull the trigger and it's
It's too. They've got this this trigger now that a friend showed me, that you can put in an electric gun, and it's pretty much like the same, like what do you call it, like trigger weight
Yep.
to it than a real
A
steel.
real steel.
Yeah, you can set like the weight to it.
Look, we're getting more technology that will make it. Like those Smoky Wolf suppressors.
Yeah.
I love my Smoky Wolf suppressor. It looks so cool on video. Like it, and from the other end, you see a flash and smoke come out. Brilliant.
Which is awesome. Yeah.
Brilliant. A Boss unit, one of those.
Realism at its core.
Yeah, man. People will be
it's
like,
all the like benefits of blank without actual blanks.
see, I do like my blank fire.
Yeah.
I do like that. I start every and finish every game with the blank fire. I got more blanks, and I did forget it last time.
You
Sorry.
did, didn't you?
I did. I was so.
Actually, yeah.
I was very slack last time because we played on the Saturday, and I packed everything up on the Friday, and was going to take the blank fire to where we were going, and then went, no, I'm not allowed it there, and so I took it out. I forgot all about it. But I normally I like my blank fires. I like the noise. Playing with the RDX boys, you know, like having those boss units around.
Yeah,
So cool. So every time they let one off, but dude, scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
They've got some IED like things that we've used at MI before. And
So there's going to be some of those up at the weekend, aren't there? Which is again why I bring them up, because I'm looking forward to that. They've got the big one that does the 25 mil, eh?
yeah, I think that's what's going to be there. I've heard that Russell did sort that out.
So that's the one that goes on the AA gun, the Bofors, yeah.
No, something even bigger.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I went to go listen to that because I went.
Yeah, you need ear pro.
IDX
I
are
went with
local to us. We live about a 10-minute drive away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
That's why.
I think it was the first or second MIA. I went to go like just talk to them about a boss unit, putting it on my Mark 18.
Yeah.
And they showed me. They took me into like a little like soundproof room thing, and when
They
they
invited
let that
us
thing
over
off,
to the studio.
holy crap! Man.
Yeah, man.
That thing shook that container.
Yeah.
That was
So
amazing.
when you're sitting on the Bofors and you got the things here, it's here,
Like right next to you.
and you go boom, 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 and you feel the
Good Lord.
that like air pushing you
the
from
force
out.
of the air.
The wall.
Yeah, and so you get the noise, the feel of it, and it actually makes you feel like you're really shooting the
in there.
crap out of something. Then they put a bulb at the end that was sort of linked to the trigger, so when you pressed it, the bulb also flashed at the end.
Cool.
Yeah.
During the night game would have been superb. During the day when you're flying in the helicopter and he's aiming it at you and you hear bang, 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 and you see the flash and you're still going, oh shit, because you're in a helicopter that's doing 45-degree spinnies. Yeah, best day of my life.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go down to that.
Have you not done OPAF?
No, we haven't.
You've
done it
got to do it.
Yeah.
We were going to, but again, we just tied up with one thing this year.
It's not cheap, but
No.
it is worth every penny. Every penny. So I think next time we go down, we'll get a bigger crew and we'll make up a little village and get a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because it was just Leon and I behind a tree, just like huddled up, cold, watching the league, because I took the league down on my phone. I sit there watching the league at night, like, do you want a beer? Yeah, where are they? In the chili bin. Why are they in there? It's so cold out here. Just get into the sleeping bag. I've got a -5 sleeping bag, and I'm fully dressed.
Freezing.
Good Lord, in the middle of summer.
That sounds like me at
In the
Stone
middle of
Garden.
summer.
In the middle of summer. It was so cold.
Far out.
I'm fully dressed with my foul weather gear on in a sleeping bag, thinking I had such a good day, but I am so cold now. Yeah, we were going to hire a camper van, but that
I regretted that one.
yeah, we looked into that one. No, for the 3 nights in a camper van, we bought the Gustav.
What?
That's how expensive they are.
Good
I wonder if it's just good, like if you could just get like an Airbnb
Yeah,
for like a.
Yeah, no, you- so a lot of the people who go down there do it.
Just do that.
Just do that because there's loads of them, you know. But we wanted it's our first time. We wanted the full experience.
Absolutely.
You know, I if we go down when we go down for Stone Garden and when we go down to do the league, because there's huts where the league's being played. So when we go down, there's huts we can stay in down there.
I think the league's being hosted in Cambridge.
Yeah, I did
this one coming up.
He did flick.
Yeah.
I've been invited. I don't know where my phone is. I did get an invite. I said to him, "Yeah, we'll get a team up, definitely."
Yeah.
So, again, we got to be there. Got to be there at the start of this.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, there's so much cool stuff happening.
Yeah, there's so many like new events popping up that's like almost overwhelming with the amount of events.
And big events.
Yeah.
They're not like small.
No. Hundreds of people, tanks, helicopters, big explosions. Oh, hell yeah. And then every weekend you can go play somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, when I first started playing, it was War, ASA, Paladins, and the arena, the indoor arena. And then we found out about the armory over the shore.
Yeah.
And that, again, this is going back 15 years. And then now little clubs popping up, different people doing different things, which is why it's nice to see a team focusing on a social milsimmy thing.
Yeah.
You know, because it's...
Well, I don't know. I haven't actually seen a team, like, might just be me, but I haven't actually seen a team that's focused on social and...
No. It's normally one or the other.
Yeah, it's usually always one or the other.
Yeah.
Like,
a little bit of a
I've noticed that there's probably around about like 4 or 5 teams now that's like hardcore milsim.
Yeah.
Social teams, I've noticed that there's probably around about 2, 3 of them.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen like
the combination of the two.
Of both.
Yeah, but the hardcore milsim teams are hard.
They are hardcore.
There's some serious teams up there. And they spend some serious money on kit.
Yeah.
Because I'm a real big enthusiast on buying like real gear.
Yeah.
That's just like my liking. I like to collect gear. But there's some teams up there that's like
don't look over here. There's awful stuff.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But
heaping pile of.
Where is it? I got some really nice stuff in here. I got some proper. I got a nice Alice. I was telling you about the Alice stuff before.
Osprey.
Yeah. So there's a. Sorry, I'm knocking things over. There's me Alice stuff under here.
Oh yeah.
There's of course, we got some gear. We got some silly gear. All righty. Oh my God, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. Thank you so much. I think we've gone through everything. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No.
I think this will keep everybody entertained for a wee bitty.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Right. Well, I think we'll call that a night. My knees are sore. I want to thank you so much for both being the inaugural guests on the Bastion podcast. It's been an absolute honour and a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for letting us on.
Thank you for having us, Nick.
Oh, my genuine pleasure. Thank you to Aries for sitting there and doing my Jamesy part of it, even though you didn't do any of the setup. And I don't know why I'm looking in his chair because he's not here. But James, hurry up and come back, mate. I can't do this without you. All right, everybody. That was the first of many proper podcasts from the Bastion. Have a wonderful evening. And as always, we'll shoot you laters.